How's it going, guys? For the guys that are just tuning in, I am just setting up the grinder, so that I can do my final grind on this, the last odd 3 and a bit hours of the build-off. Yeah. So I'm not even sure what grit I've got on here. Let me just make 100% sure. So that's a 60 grit. This thing requires a bit of serious attention. So we're going to give her that. Yeah. Oh, I don't have an apron. Hold on. That is better. First coffee. No, I've had coffee. Oh no, you're talking about yourself, buddy. Yeah, dude. Don't screw up. Yeah. So as soon as this grinder starts, I'm not going to be talking. I don't have my Bluetooth headset. I am just going to be working, right? You're more than welcome to leave comments. I'm going to check every now and then. Yeah. But for now, this thing needs to get real thin, real fast. Crap. I need to go get my glasses. For a moment there, I couldn't figure out why I'm not seeing shit, and I've got safety glasses on. So I'm really focusing my pressure on the edge of the grind. See, it's substantially harder than it was. Watching in Texas. Excellent, welcome. Let's start cleaning up this grind, shall we? Absoluut. Ja, asseblief my hierdie grindbak, waterbak net kom volmaak. Water. My quench bucket is running a bit low. And cool down half the friggin' blade. So Tsulu is just quickly giving me a refill there. Dankie. There's a lot less talking at the moment. A bit more happening on the concentration side of things. Doing a speed grind. With no sleep. It's the little things that make life interesting, apparently. Sorry, Jack. I shall phone you back just after 12. Yeah, Lawrence worked through last night to kind of play a bit of catch up. I was actually planning on sleeping last night, and then I broke my quillen, or the crossguard, on the lathe, so I had to redo it, and that kind of just put me in a bit of trouble. So I'm currently working on exactly the same timeline as I did on the very first build. The very first build-off we had, like, friggin' hell, 5-6 years ago. So on that one I also slept on the first night and worked all the way through on the second night. The first odd 20 minutes in the grind is always the most nerve-wracking. You're still waiting for your muscles to kind of get with it and saying, hey, I've actually done this before. What is also not helping my case is the fact that I'm shaking this morning. I want to get that tip blended in. As early as possible. Doesn't help that I can't see. Meneer Moelman, welcome, man. My light is running away. It's not talent, brother. It's fucking years and years and years and years of practice. 11 years to be exact. I stopped counting and I think it was 15,000 hours behind this machine, doing exactly this. But thank you for the compliment. But it's no fucking talent. Freaking dedication. I will do this. I will get that right. I will blah 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 blah. Harre gat geit in ander woorde. Plain Afrikaans. Remember, I spent an entire year off from knife making and purely focused on grinding. I mean, it's one thing to being able to hit shit with a hammer, and when you get to the grinder, that's where you screw it up. Yeah, so I realized that early on, and like I said, took an entire year just focused on grinding. Built up the time behind the machine so that I can grind proficiently and grind quickly and hopefully not fuck up. He says while now fucking up, right? So I'm literally still just working away material towards that edge. So I'm about halfway to final thickness at the moment. George, I am using a 60mm, 60mm, 50mm being 2-inch. I don't know, man. Google inch to millimeter. That gives you 25.4 millimeters to 1 inch. So it's 25.4 for 1 inch. I'm running a 60mm wheel, 25 millimeters wide, so it is 1 inch wide, but it's 60 mil in diameter. I like it for nice and deep little hollows. Sorry man, one day I'll do the math, so if someone asks me from the States I can say, hey, it is so much, so many weird measurements. No, 3mm, 3 inches is 75mm. Well, it's going to be 76 point, so 25.4, so 76.4. So I can do the math other way around, but not fucking, so from inches to millimeters, but not from millimeters to inches, man. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to decide which side of this blade I should take a tad more off. There we go, 2.3 inches. Thank you, Simon, bro. That is appreciated, man. Yeah, it's a cheapie, man. It's the only, I don't have ceramic pluses on 60 grit, and this is things for zirconium. I normally only use them on wood. Look, it's a decent belt, but fucking way better things on the market. But I've got to use what I have, man. And also another thing, your belt will last. David, how's it going, man? David Francis. So your belt will last. It all depends on your grind style. So if you're someone that is heavy-handed, that belt is obviously not going to last. If you're someone that can't find the hollow consistently, and you're running over that sharp edge or the center spine, your belt is not going to last long. My belts tend to wear out on the edges a lot quicker than they do on the center. So I rely on the edges to dig the hollow after a heat treat. And when the edges are worn out, your 1-inch issue or 2-inch dig issue and grinding inconsistently in the length of the blade is no longer an issue, because you don't have hard edges, because the edges is already worn off. And now I'm sitting with sharp grit in the center of my belt, as opposed to not thinking about it and just going balls to the wall and wearing the grit all over the belt. So grinding in this fashion, so dividing the belt into 3 sections, grinding left and right first and then in center. So you want to dig away material, and the lesser steel gets in contact with the lesser amount of steel makes contact, the quicker the grind, the deeper the cut. But your full speed and pressure has to be consistent. Yeah, but once the edges are worn, then I go in and smooth out that irregular edge cuts, or the hog passes, smooth them out with the fresh grit in the middle. And that is what makes your belts last, man. See, now it's starting to blunt out. I'm having to, it's only shining up, so you'll see the difference between a cut and a shine. See that shiny bit? That's a clear indicator this belt is spec. So, toss it. Grab another one. But I think this one's also spec. Zulu! Wil jy net vir 'n klein blou 25 belt gaan kry nie asseblief? Blou 25. Blou smalletjie. This is also a worn belt. So this has only touched unheat treated steel. Yeah, it's also shining up. Look, they still grind, don't get me wrong. But now you have to work the grind, and it lets your blade heat up really quickly. And it's one belt, one grind, man. Toss it, done. Come on, Donkey, donkey. And there's one spare, which is cool, man. Really well. So now you can see that nice and shiny, and when it goes from a shiny into a dull, yeah, that means that was a sharp belt, this is a dull belt. So now I'm going to go in with a sharp belt, and you'll see it's all nice and dull again. And you can actually hear the difference in the grind. In fact, you don't have to fight the grind, you can just let the abrasive do the job you bought it for, right? And your blade stays cooler for much longer. No, I don't agree. Silicon carbide or even corundum, zirconium will not cut even close to a ceramic. Not even fucking close. It's just I don't have any ceramics. I normally run ceramic only. Like I said, I use zirconium for wood, yeah, not for steel. I'm using this in a pinch because I don't have any ceramics left. So I normally run VSM, XK885Y, 555Y if I can get my hands on them, but they are chicken teeth But those things have got no fucking end, man. So on this, I've now used one of these on pre-grind, and I'm now on the second one on a post-grind. Where on the VSMs, I would do pre-grind and post-grind on probably 5 daggers on a single belt. Those things are just, man, once you've used these things, yeah. And the guys are rocking and raving about that, what's it, the 3M shredder belt? Yeah, man, 3M shredder. Shredder. Obviously your VSM agents in the States, you should go talk to them. Don't get me wrong, the 3M shredder belt is nice, but there are stuff better than it on there. But now if you're talking price, the ceramics can get really, really expensive. But then, if you don't mind, like I do, I really, really, really don't mind, because the abrasive is the cheapest fucking thing in my knife. And then, and my time is the most expensive. So, I don't want to stand here for 2 hours when I can do it in 1 hour. And if it means I pay 5 times more for abrasive, so be it, man. Sorry, I'm just ranting about abrasives, eh? I'm not looking at the comments. Every now and then I glance up, which I shouldn't actually be doing, because it will be at that point where I screw up, right? But yeah, you get to a point where look, money is what you're throwing at this beast, and you can't really justify spending the serious bucks on the real expensive abrasives. Although it makes sense, but you still, man, you need to count the money that you're putting into the hobby. So once you've done the math, once you've used those really expensive belts, yeah, it's like using the Klingspor J-Flex yellow belts. I am yet to come across anything that beats the Klingspor yellow 100 J-Flex belt. Yeah, and that's a silicon carbide belt. But no one on the market makes a better 100 grip. There's a better grip from competitors on anything else that Klingspor makes, but that fucking 100 grip, dude, that thing just rocks. It rips steel, it rips wood, rips titanium, fucking you name it. Copper, brass, nothing clogs the fucking thing. Just the formula on that belt works. If I can just make it last a bit longer. Don't screw up now. This is now when I get coffee. And I fuck up. Where do I need to push over there? Not so much. You'll notice it's a bit of a dance that you're playing with your grinder. Slow, the same way you want to treat your woman, right? Gentle but firm. And it's always a soft touch. Always soft. Soft. Go into the grind, find the flat, find the flat, find the flat. You can get it so you can find the flat and there's just one or two little sparkies. And then you gradually add pressure. I see guys trying to climb into this thing and just force the grind. Fuck man, you've spent the money. Let that abrasive do the work for you, right? And it's loose hands. You're not death gripping this thing. And another thing, if you're grinding with gloves, toss the fucking gloves. Because you can't feel if the steel gets hot. And if your answer is, but I'm gonna burn myself, then stop watching fucking YouTube videos. Yeah? Because every grind I've seen ever grind with gloves, according to me, didn't know what the hell they were doing. Because a glove puts material between you and the thing you want to protect from overheating. Yeah? And you're grinding, well, you're burning yourself because of two reasons. Number one, well, the blade got hot, which it shouldn't. Yeah, so I'm done with the 60 grit, which it shouldn't. It should never overheat. Yeah, that's why you're grinding naked-handed, so you can actually feel what's happening with the grind. So grind has got three aspects to it. It is sight, what you see, and then feel, what you feel, feedback from the blade, and then heat. Yeah, and that heat is the one that comes back and bites you in the ass. Because as soon as it bites you, now you're going to be apprehensive, and you're going to predict yourself getting burnt again. And as soon as you're starting to predict the future, that's where you fuck up. Ask every guy that's ever tried to predict anything, especially weathermen. Yeah, man, I'm actually running. Oh, but see, that's a BSM 24 grip. For that monster there. Yeah, that's a BSM 24. That's what I use to rough out any of my grinds. But 90% of the grind is confidence before the machine, and confidence, you can only bullshit your way so far. Yeah. You can seem confident the whole thing, but if you haven't spent the hours behind the machine. Sorry, I'm now on a clean spore 3M Trizact Gator 65. I should actually go to 100. There's another thing that guys are doing is they're skipping grits. And in skipping grits, what you're doing is your next abrasive down the line has to work so much fucking harder. And if you're having to press harder to get deep scratches out, all you're doing is you're wearing the abrasive unnecessarily. So these guys will tell you, yeah, but I grind 20 knives on one belt, and you go in and see the fucking, you're only getting 4 knives out of that same belt. What is your previous grit that you're jumping from to this next belt? Because if you're skipping grit, then, well, your belts are going to wear quicker, right? So this is an A160. And its job now is to just get rid of the scratch marks from the 60 grit. So I was grinding at 60, I am now starting my polishing. And you'll notice that the finer I get, the quicker it gets. So the farther down the line, so the higher the grit, the quicker this entire process goes. Now I'm having to press in a bit because the gator belts are a bit thicker well, not a bit, it's double the actual thickness compound wise than the cling sport belts. So now my radius has changed. I'm now grinding a bigger radius, so I'm contacting on the spine and on the edge, and having to press hard to get the scratches out in the hollow. I hope that makes sense. And that's why I'm grinding short bursts, as to not build up heat and damage that small edge, yeah, or thin edge. I don't want to burn the fucking edge, because Damascus and it has to be etched. So as soon as I burn the edge, I'm going to see it in my etch. As soon as I burn the edge, I'm going to see it in my etch. You're going to bullshit a lot of things, but an experienced maker ain't going to fucking happen, man. Because the difference between you and an experienced maker is the experienced maker has made every single fucking mistake that you're still going to be making. And there's a lot of guys thinking that they'll bullshit experienced guys. Ain't gonna happen, buddy. What guys keep on forgetting is I have done this every single fucking day, 7 days a week, for the last 7 years. 7 years, going on 8 years in August, full time. Grinding at least 3 hours a day. When I started, once again, 1st of August, 11 years ago. And one thing you should also know, hand is cramping up. What you should also notice is how I lead and exit the grind. In other words, how I approach the grind. It's always a feather in and feather out motion. Yeah? Never just go in. You're feathering in, and you're feathering out, feathering in and feathering out. So I can blend grinds in. Never just a balls to the wall, stand still and then start grinding. You're always moving into the grind. And I'm never trying to start at the plunge and end at the tip. That's just asking for fucking trouble. I've seen guys being able to do it. But that's just stupid. Because the closer your hands are to the actual grind, closer together, the shorter the knife becomes, and grinding short knives is easy. Yeah? You're much more stable, you can actually control what you're doing. You're relying on micro muscle movements, not just small muscle movements. So in other words, just adjusting my right hand thumb, the leading hand, the hand that's feeding, just adjusting with the thumb, not with, I'm literally just closing my hand on it, and that changes the angle. So you can grind with just 4 fingers, yeah? And you're seeing exactly the same result, just 4 fingers. So there's little, very little pressure. You're doing the abrasive, let the abrasive do the work. So I'm grinding just with the edge. It's easier to grind with what's it, a fucking 3/1,000th of an inch than it is with a 1 inch. But if you want to clean up a grind, make it nice and smooth, you run with the center. Now it's very evident in this belt how I work. See the edges, how they've been worked off. So the clean grinding happens right in the middle. Gives you a nice smooth finish, as opposed to this like almost inconsistent finish. So you get the marks out and then you clean up. I always use the analogy is you don't want to start the dishes halfway through eating. Yeah, so you want to grind first and then start clean up. And you also see the lower grits take a lot longer. And I think I have measured it. Takes a lot longer to get the scratches out. And you'll see me running every edge twice. And that is purely to make sure that I don't want to move on and have potentially missed a previous scratch or a 60 grit mark, because the A65 is not designed to get rid of 65 or 60 grit marks, even 80 grit marks. Yeah, 100 is designed to get rid of 80, and 80 is designed to get rid of 60. So the guy's grinding 60 and then jumping to 120 or even 150 or 240. You're just wasting your fucking time. Go in small belt increments and see all of a sudden you're getting rid of all those grinds, all those deep scratch marks. Your grinds are beautiful because you don't have to force the fucking thing into the grind. Your belts all of a sudden last a hell of a lot longer. Yes, you spend a lot of time changing belts. Get over it. And if that really becomes a problem, and you're considering doing this full time, keep in mind, you can't go fucking full time just with one grinder. You need a backup. Something happens to that machine, you blow a bearing, can't replace it immediately, you can just carry on. Now you can phone a guy to come and service your machine for you. Or you can order the parts. You've got the luxury. Yeah. It's called business, and keep in mind the business of knife making has got fucking nothing to do with knife making. If you're going into business, then you're knife making. You as a knife maker, you are the manufacturing plant. That's it. And your job is to keep marketing stocked. The marketing department stocked with product that they can move. Yeah. And guess who's the marketing guy? Well, definitely not you when you're standing behind the grinder. Or, in this case right here, perfect example, the marketing guy is actually doing the grinding right now. Yeah? Because 18 guys from around the world are sitting, standing, watching, driving, whatever. And listen to me talk crap. Well, guys and gals. Yeah? So the knife makers contemplating whether they should participate in the next 48-hour dagger build. You should. It's very simple to say, but from a marketing point of view, it's one of the best exercises you will ever do in your life. I've spoken to, I think we're just almost 30 guys participating. Yeah. where I've spoken and confirmed with 7 guys that already sold the pieces that they're working on. Yeah. This dagger here, I've got three potential buyers so far. I'm not bragging, I'm trying to show you that being on social media and posting a knife for sale is 2 fucking different things. If you're still one of the makers that are posting knives for sale in Facebook groups, you need to realize, and you need to go and study up on the group you're posting into. Because people will go and post in groups that have got thousands of members. The higher the member count, the more frequent the post. And the guy that sees your post happened to just be behind his PC at the right point, or PC, Mac device, whatever, at the right point in time, and less than 1/3%, and the studies are out there, just use Google, less than 1/3% of the total people in that group will actually see that knife. Yeah? And that's without the posting laws and or rules. There's no laws. And the advertising laws, yes there is. Keep in mind that Facebook is a registered entity, and the internet works as such that the state, the country, that whatever where the entity is registered in, that state's laws apply to the website and the content. And seeing that California law says that knives are marketed or seen as dangerous goods and cannot be advertised, that's why Facebook is giving you guys the amount of, well, us guys, the amount of crap it is. It's not Mark Zuckerberg. He doesn't have a fucking potential thing against you or a personal grudge against you. You're just spewing what fucking people want to hear. It's never the maker's fault. It's never the user's fault. Yeah, it's always the developer or the knife maker's fault. Always. Well, from the point of view of the customer, the user. In other words, you, the Facebook dude. Yeah. So how do you advertise? How do you market? Yeah. By being the only guy in a room that a potential client walks into, doesn't necessarily speak to you, but he's the only fucking guy that he remembers a week later. Be memorable. And it doesn't have to be in your work. It has to do with you as a person. Keep in mind, collectors don't collect knives. They collect makers, and they collect stories. They buy into what you stand for, how you do it, how you treat your wife, the kids, the neighbors, other knife makers, and complete strangers. Yes, I know we shouldn't be judgy, but guess what? This is real life. Everyone judges, whether you do it consciously or subconsciously. It's a survival thing. And as a knife maker, you do not become a student of human nature. Rather, you better have someone else that sells your knives. Yeah, dude, it doesn't help trying to pretend, right? Pretend that I only swear on Mondays and Tuesdays. I swear like a fucking sailor. Like I said, it's widely known I wanted to become a A pirate, apparently. But, I mean, just be yourself, right? Don't pretend to be someone that you're not, because there's always someone a lot cleverer than you that's going to pick up on your bullshit, yeah? The guy answers or asks a question, yeah? My dad had an irritating saying, either you think you know or you know. If you have to think about it, then, buddy, you don't know. Yeah, so if someone asks you a question you don't know, just say, hey, you know what? In all honesty, I don't know. I might know someone that knows. Same thing as sales. Don't promise squat, man. Ooh, now look at the sound. That is a fresh fucking belt. It goes like a meat saw. Just imagine you're standing in a butcher and you can't see the meat processing, but you can hear that slight hum. That's what you're listening for. That slight hum. And as soon as the angry cat appears, in other words, you're going to go onto the edge or that little ridge, he's going to hiss at you. No, I'm not going to demonstrate that. Not at this point, so this is my second run down the blade. Remember I said I want to run each plunge twice, or each facet twice. Then I'm coming back up. Alright, so that facet I've now run twice. Fairly confident that I've gotten rid of most of the scratches, but I'm going to come back to it. So now, seeing that my left hand has already done the work, I'm flipping over, doing the other side of that dagger. Same thing. The muscles have now been nice and practiced. They're into the groove. You can see my entire body is doing this. I'm not trying to grind with my arms. And I can run up and down the blade without having to cool it down, yeah? Now I'm going to cool it down, because I'm not stupid. That is a 2.3 inch contact wheel, Sam. Simon Weedman did the math for it. This is another known fact, I suck at math. And if you go and have a look at, I think it was earlier this morning, where I realized that my proportions on the handle part, yeah, so all those two spaces that I turned, I fucking apparently don't know what 3mm is. So all my 3mm measurements, well, let's start at 2mm. All my 2mm measurements became 3mm, and all my 3mm measurements became 4.5. So I stretched that dagger out, and I had to grind some of those details, some of those facets, some of those little curves. I had to grind them off, man. And obviously, the faster you run this thing over, the smoother the grind becomes. Yeah, so you get a nice smooth, and there you can see where I've climbed the ridge. Yeah, so right there, so I need to just clean that up. So I'm going to go into that spot and just focus there. Done, and I'm just going to blend it in. There we go, so that one is done. Other one, still the same side. Now doing a soft quick run. Checking if I climbed the ridge somewhere. No. See how my body is still swinging, anticipating that I'm going to come back into the grind. and swaying from one foot to the other. You can see it on my feet. My entire body weight is never suspended over both feet. Yeah, so in doing this, you're already doubling the amount of stamina you have in front of the grinder. In other words, you can now grind for twice as long just learning that little technique. And don't think you're going to fucking start off and be able to spend 10 hours grinding. No. That's something that you need to teach your body. The more you do something, every single time you go and grind, just try to grind for an extra 2 minutes longer than the previous time. Don't try to grind a half an hour and then fucking 3 hours. Build it up. And if you're starting out, you need every second behind the machine, right? But start small. Just go and grind for the first week, just fucking 10 minutes. Spend 40 minutes cleaning up, organizing and making sure that you leave an area, the tool is back where you fucking find it. So establish good habits. When you use a tool, I don't care if you're going to use it in 10 minutes from now again, put it back in its place. Put it where it's supposed to be. That way you get into a habit that, number one, you're walking quite often. Yeah. So in other words, you've got circulation in your legs are moving. You won't get varicose veins. You won't have any problems from spending large time on your feet. Your feet won't get swollen. And when you stand still, don't stand still. It's easy as that. And if your wife gives you one of those Fitbit things, you do fucking serious K's, man. So like every day in the shop you're doing a semi-little hike, which is brilliant. You don't have to get your exercise by jumping to conclusions and stabbing your mates in the back. No, I sound like a fitness coach. And this is going to be the last stroke on this one. I'm just checking center lines here. If I do this, you can see this tip, this side here is a bit dodgy. All the other facets match, but this one here, I can see there's a slight bow in the tip, which I don't want. So on performance blades, yeah, things that actually get used, you want that tip nice and thick. So you want the tip nice and thick. And even then, the first inch on a performance blade, even if you do a hollow, I will still flat it and then blend it in. You want a nice staunch tip, because if anything's going to go on a knife, it's going to be the tip first. Because why? Didn't know it, newsflash, the tip gets used 10 times more than any other aspect of the blade. You want to keep the tip thick. There's another one of those sayings, take care of the tip and the rest of the blade will follow. You judge a guy, and I do judge people when they hand me a knife. Especially a guy that's not a knife maker. Because based on the care he takes on his knife, I can judge your entire fucking life. I know exactly how you treat your wife, your kids, your dogs, your car, any possession that you have. And if you're still thinking that your wife is not your possession, yeah, just let another guy look at her. And then you see all getting all, protective and stuff. Yeah? We call it not protective, call it what it is. It's fucking jealousy. Oh, it's a 1 inch, yeah, sorry Sam. That took forever and a day to answer that one. Sorry mate. You got me mating, butter. You got me mate. I just called you mate. I've been spending too much fucking time with you and Alex. Alex. I don't know why the hell I'm calling. I was calling Alex Steele Alex last night. And I've been calling Alex the entire fucking week. Right, so I'm just lit a cigarette. I'm going to take a bit of a break. I've just loaded an A45, so I'm 1, 2, 3 belts in, yeah? 2 belts. 2 belts? 2 belts. It's 60, 160, then it was a 65, yeah, so this is number 4, 45. 45, 30, then I'm doing a 16 and a 6, and we get to a 6, we're just gonna finish the ricasso. That beautiful piece there, when I hit that with, because that's already surface ground up to a 400 grit, when I hit that with a 600, 800, and then we're into the edge, right? No hand sanding required. No hand sanding required. Technically didn't answer my question, dude. Still, what the fuck? Okay, I'm scrolling. Yeah, but the width, is it the only one that's 25, or are the idlers and drive wheels as well? No, there is no idler, there's just a drive wheel. I hate 3-wheel grinders. That's just a 2-wheel, yeah? And this, there, my grind height, is exactly my hands width above my nose. Whoa! The center of the wheel is 2 fingers above my navel, which is the perfect grind height for me. Now, for every person, that grind height will differ. Yeah, this is a standalone machine. It doesn't require a table. So we run 2 types of machines in South Africa. It's a tabletop machine and then a standalone. And standalones is not picked up anywhere else in the world, but I don't know why. Because a little 3-wheel, the one with the idler wheel here, if you put it on top of the table is normally standard. A workbench is 900 mil high. That thing keeps on spewing shit in your face. Yeah? And you have to grind with fucking safety glasses. Yeah, there's no safety glasses required because everything is mid-height. So that's where your power is. Ask the guys that do martial arts, yeah? So this is what happens if you got guys, Mr. Batterifeld, the guy that originally designed or came up with the dragon scale pattern of Damascus. He made that machine. Crap. Sorry, man. Let me just flip this thing ever so slightly. So that machine standing outside there is 35 years old. That one there. That one there. 35 years old. Still fucking running. Yeah. So that's what happens if you get a precision engineer that knows his shit. He's one of the founding members of the South African Knife Makers Guild. Everyone know who Chris Reeves is? Yeah? This is one of the guys that taught Chris Reeves how to make knives. Right. But anyway, long story short, he designed these. Yeah. And man, don't. Things rock. Yeah, it is one of the most stablest machines you'll ever find in your life. I always laugh my ass off when I see guys putting coins on their machines. It doesn't help nothing. The vibration in here is what you're looking for. You'll see that this wheel, although it's a 1-inch, it's a 2-inch casing. Yeah, there's not just one bearing here and one bearing here. This thing has got 4 bearings in it. So the entire shaft from the inside is packed with bearings. Yeah. You can imagine the strain that this belt puts on this outer bearing and that inner bearing. And then the shaft is not just a mild steel shaft, it is EM9 that's been heat treated. Yeah? So it actually can handle the So yeah, man. So the guys out here, we are full of crap when it comes to our grinding. And then I've got in my grind room where we're at now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 9 grinders. My double wheel makes 10 grinders. But I teach, yeah. But if I'm doing production, I mean, fit this wheel on every single one of these machines, and I can just go to the next one. I doesn't have to change belts. But I'm lazy like that, yeah. And this is my baby. Okay, so we're almost there. So the drive wheel on this is a 2-inch, yeah, but it's not a flat drive wheel; it's a crown. So it's got a 2-degree curvature on the top of the wheel. So you'll also see that everything is perfectly in line. You can see 2-inch casing. And we now slide down to the drive wheel. See how the belt 1 inch is running on the left, and on the drive wheel it's running on the left. Yeah. In other words, if I'm running a 50 belt insert center, it'll sit center, it'll run center. The only drawback with the crown wheel is your tracking, number one, is fucking brilliant, because the tracking is done on the motor that swivels. Yeah, that's your tracking, so you don't need a tracking wheel. There's an auto tension system, which is just the gas shock that sits in there. There's one of these canopy lifters like that one has got in there. Yeah, so that little white shock, this is just mounted on the inside. Makes it difficult to clean up. That's why that sits on the outside. Works exactly the same thing. Yeah, fucking springs and pulleys and cantilevers and all that shit on a machine that really doesn't need them. Yeah. So to put it into perspective, right, it's now what, 19 rand to $1. Right, so that machine, the steel work, the platen, the wheels, the shock, everything, 1.5 kilowatt motor, a remote on-off switch, plus its VFD, variable frequency drive, not a variable speed drive, by the way, is up there. Yeah, so that entire unit is 7,500 rand. You cannot buy a grinder in the States for under $3,500. I can buy fucking 7-8 of those machines for $3,500. And that's my design, by the way. Yeah, have a look on my YouTube channel. You guys can build them. Easy. Yeah, it's a 2-day easy little project. And the best of all is, built into the design is not something that is added after the fact. By design, everything is still lined up. You've got a 2-inch by 2-inch square tubing. That's it. This one sits off center. On that one there, it sits right next to it on platen. You can just add in attachments, man. There's no stupid arms that needs to be going on anywhere and everywhere and the whole thing. And this is the comb quick change system. Yeah, the 2 bolts hold on the entire system. Anything and everything. It runs from a 450 wheel to little 50s, even 20mm wheels in the adapters. So these here, yeah, you guys should know this, but these I had machined specifically for me. Yeah, and no, I don't sell them, but they carry my logo. And because I teach, I've got 6 of them in the shop. Well, I used to teach. Don't know with the corona thing now. Okay, but my cigarette's almost done. I hate grinding and smoking, especially if I have to pay attention, because the smoke gets into your eye and then you end up squinting at your grinder, and that we definitely don't want to do. Yeah. So this live webcast, by the way, I'm doing off my cell phone, my mobile phone, so it will not end up on YouTube, unfortunately. I should have streamed straight to fucking YouTube. Then I didn't have to. I could download it there and upload it to Facebook. Alright, let's get cracking. Apparently there's some sort of deadline. Now this is the drawback. You can see I've got more of the orange sticking out on this side of the wheel. That's the drawback with the crown wheel. If you just let your belt sit, because it's crowned, the belt is now stretched out onto that angle, therefore pushing it out, because the wheel wants to level itself out. Therefore it's thinking that this belt is now 2mm narrower than it should be, so it's pushing over, so I now need to adjust tracking. It might just be that I need to do a kick. Yeah, no tracking. Oh, wrong way. But I think that's too far now. Nice. Okay. Sorry, now that I've moved everything, I need to set that up again so that you guys can see and I don't bump the camera. Yeah? Alrighty. Get the light in without scraping the grit off my belt. Give it such a way that you guys can see and I can see. And then we start grinding again. Once again, I'm close up. I need to get my muscles time to get back into the grind. I'm doing light passes and kicking every single time I come off the grinder, just to be able to see what the result was. Feeding in about 1/4 of an inch every time and grinding back an entire inch and coming into that new little quarter. You'll see there's almost 0 sparks at this point. Now I'm just going to smooth out my grind, taking longer strokes, working my way up the blade, as is evident by the video footage. Oh, and now you'll see on this grit I'm able to do a double pass here. So on that one there, I was off the ridge, so my thumb on the right is now just adding a bit of upward pressure to keep me in the curve. So this is the 3rd pass I'm doing up my blade without cooling down. Yeah, I can feel the blade is getting slightly hot, but I can still hold on to it comfortably. So now I'm going to go into the quench, cool down, yeah. Now because I swirled it in the water, I can't tell which side it was, and this side is the new side. So we start off small, making sure I'm getting those scratches out. And if I grab the tip where I've just ground and I feel heat, so much so that that reflex come into play, then go for the cool down. Don't run the ridge. There where I had to clean up the ridge. He's getting a bit toasty, so we're going to go in. And as soon as you hear a pitch change anywhere in your grind, you know you're off angle. That's as easy as that. Hear that? Now I come and have a look, and I can see that I went down and I came in and thinned the edge up. Now, it was not part of the plan there. So now I need to go and set up for the next grit. In other words, I want to get all those bevels out that I've just put in. I want to smooth it out. Otherwise my next grit, that tip is just going to look worse and worse and worse. Keep in mind the finer grits will not move material. Yeah. The edge job is purely, the next grit is to get rid of this grit's scratch marks, not to go and hook and grind my knife. I'm polishing. I stopped grinding at 100 grit. Can anyone tell me how long we've been at this? Because I can't see the clock on my phone, and I've got no idea. I might have to speed this up, or I can slow down. And it would be much appreciated if it's someone in South Africa that actually gives me the South African time, so GMT +2, if you guys don't mind. So, is there anyone... Oh crap, sorry, I'm stuck in like 2 hours, 9 minutes left, Simon! An hour. An hour what? John, until I drive to your spot and come kick your ass. For fucking making my heart skip like 5 beats. I'm now fucking 30 seconds older than what I was 30 seconds ago. An hour and 29 minutes to get you here. Holy crap, man. I need to speed this up. Okay. I do not suggest you doing this type of grind. In other words, sweeping grinds. Because you need to be an Elvis impersonator. Because Elvis had it, man. I'm cramping up. Dude! Daarachter. Daar wordt hij weg. Daar wordt hij weg. Good. Zulu is almost done. He's now just coming in. Ja, gaan fail. Go and use a file. Damn it. Go and work. Maar voordat je verder werkt, nee, eerst een koffie alsjeblieft. My petrol is laag. So for the Afrikaans guys out there, you would have gotten that. I've just ordered some coffee and I told them that my gas is a bit low. Why do we drink coffee? So we can do stupid things faster. Yeah? I should actually have that made into a big ass poster for my shop. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Let's have a look at that one. Undergrind. I did a video on undergrinding. Yes, you don't have to flip. So that's a nice way of just neating up your center line. Does take a bit of practice. But it also helps if you've got a nice little hollow that you can seed into. Yeah. As soon as you think you know everything about grinding, this was something I saw on a kid's YouTube channel, and he didn't know better. Yeah, because I actually asked him, dude, where did you learn to grind? And he said, well, he taught himself, and he was grinding underneath. In other words, you can't see what you're doing. And I saw that, and immediately I thought, fuck it, dude, you can do centerline cleanup, yeah, perfectly. If you utilize that little technique, and I taught myself how to do that. And tell you one thing, I fucked up numerous blades in learning that. You'll also see that when I grind under, I'm doing it a lot slower. I've got a ridge line sitting there, a bleed up. In other words, there's a section where I didn't get into the full hollow there. Sorry, now obviously a lot of the terms like a bleed up and what is stuff that we locally came up with, because we've got no idea what people are actually calling it. Either two smiths and you come across something and says, what do you call that? And you think, fucking, I don't know, but last time I did it, I bled. So it's called a bleed and it's upward. Yeah, so it's a bleed up. Yeah, okay, cool, that works for me. Just over 2 hours late. Meneer Moelman, you are me. You and me's are one day is going to have a couple of beers and sort this shit out. Right. Hopefully while we can toast a bit of meat while doing it. Yeah. And don't worry, an hour from now, well, not even a fucking hour, 20 minutes, I've forgotten about it already. But yes, that was was good on you. I realized that you didn't intend it, but fuck man, I almost had a heart attack there. But I'm pretty sure there's a couple of guys that laughed their asses off. Who is posting links to YouTube and what is it in regards to? And then ask yourself a question, do you want to get the wrath of the ban finger? Thanks buddy, that's appreciated. Atul Singh, buddy, what's that link to? Tell me or you get your ass banned, as easy as that. Yeah, no free loafers. Sam, dude, we are definitely getting together for a braai someday. The plan is to, in 2021, to go to Australia. Yeah. And I don't know if the Aussie guys are going to have another tour out to South Africa next year. And if they are, dude, you need to come with, because that was fucking great fun. Yeah, they ended up booking a one-on-one class with me, and gave them the class for free. But man, spent some serious dough with me in my shop, so I couldn't charge them for the class, right? And we always braai every single day when I have class. We make lunch, yeah. But anyway, so they ended up coming back like 4 or 5 times, which is fucking brilliant. As soon as they had an off day, the guys would pop in. That was brilliant. This also helps that they stayed in the same area that I'm in. But it's nice, man. It's nice. But Graham, I think, I can't remember Graham's surname now. Wilson? Crap, dude. Him and his wife organised it. And he gave me pamphlets about the symposium and the whole thing, and he'd asked me if I wanted to come through, and I just couldn't decide, man. So eventually I decided, no, we'll give it a pass and we'll go for 2021. But I think 2021 is going to be a year for fucking travel, apparently. Again, same freaking side. I don't know what I'm going to present, dude. Not to fuck up. Yeah, that's a subject. And I'm an expert. Not on how not to fuck up. But I fucked up in probably every imaginable way. Plus a couple really, I don't want to say spectacular ways. Inventive even. So one trip I was seriously looking forward to was obviously Blade Show, but even more than Blade Show was Master Smith Joss Smith Symposium, the not symposium, the Big Sky Hammering, where I was supposed to teach forge design and construction, forging demonstrations, grinding demonstrations, a talk on design. So that was going to be a really, really full 3 days, man. And Josh decided to cancel it yesterday. And I take my hat off to him, man. The amount of organizing that is already done for that thing. Guys flying in from fucking all over the world to come and teach or come and attend. I was looking forward to that. But we shall do it next year. Things already looking nice and shiny. I did ask Michelle Zoan yesterday what chroming service he used. But Mish, glad to report I might not have to send this blade in for chroming after all. And that was probably one of the best compliments I've ever received. Was at a knife show. I had this really, really ancient guy with his walking stick, and he was literally stopping at every single knife maker's table and looking respectfully at every single knife, spending like 15-20 minutes chatting to the maker, and you could see he was enjoying it. It was just smiles and man, always asked and pointed, and you could see he was asking to pick up every single knife. And when another client or potential client approached, he took a step away and the whole thing. So he was not in a hurry, right? And he was enjoying that show, man. Seriously enjoyed. But eventually he comes to my table and he's just standing there, Now I'm expecting him to ask, can he pick this up? Can he fondle this? What's this? You know, the standard stuff. And he's not saying anything. And the next moment he asked me, so he's wanted to know, but he hadn't thought of asking. But where do we all use the same chrome guy? And I started laughing, and he gets a bit confused. I was saying, look, don't get me wrong, that's probably the best fucking compliment I've ever received, because we don't chrome our knives. That is all hand sanded, right? And hand sanded and then polished. And he looked at me and he said, what's fucking wrong with you guys? And I normally use that as an example or an intro to my stock removal class. So stock removal, if you didn't know, what I'm doing here is knife making light. Or, please let I offend someone, is the vegan way of making knives. Sorry, I don't know. Sam, is D, is she vegan? I don't know why I've got that idea. Why the fuck do I have that idea? So the knife making light, that came from when I said, about a year ago, it's just off of December, I just completed I think it was 800 and something stock removal knives for an order that had to go to the US. So I spent like 3 months fucking just grinding away at shit, right? Literally just stock removal. And I was bitching and moaning about stock removal, and I'm now fucking a vegan, and I don't get to eat meat, which is now forging, blah 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 blah. So the guys in that live feed knew what I was on about. But guys just popping in, he heard me say that knife making is like, stock removal is like the vegan of knife making. Yeah, and I got fucking hate mail, man. And if I was the caring type, I would have gotten upset. But now you know me. I kind of just went and pushed that guy's buttons even more. And he unfriended me. Which apparently should have offended me. Yeah, it's just one less idiot to worry about, man. But I also had master smiths from all over the fucking world sending me private messages, and please, I should not refer to that. I'm going to fucking grow up and get a life, man. You should be grown up already. You should realize not to quote fucking things out of context. Because if we stopped quoting shit out of context, we would probably end up with one world religion. Yeah? Fuck. Okay, let's not start there. Sorry guys, sorry for even bringing that up. So there's two things that we do not discuss in my shop. Number one is rugby. Yeah, or sports in general, and religion. Now I realize that out in South Africa, rugby is kind of classified as a religion, so that one goes double. But then I must admit that our local, and I'm seen as to stay in Pretoria rather than Johannesburg, that our local teams, the Blue Bulls, I'm glad to report, haven't lost a single game in the last 4 weeks. Yeah? So nothing to do with the fact that we've got social distancing and a lockdown in place. Can't see the dagger, sorry buddy. Thank you for letting me know, yeah? Yeah, Sam, you were right, buddy. I was absolutely fucking devastated. Devastated, I can't even say the word. That's how emotional I got about that. Okay. I'm now semi-gatvol of grinding. If you don't know what gatvol is, it is the really nice way of saying fed up, but in Afrikaans. Oh, fuck! It's not the edge of them, worry. I've just fucked up that belt. Oh, you can feel it. See, the edge is nothing wrong with that now. Do the other side as well, just so that that one doesn't feel that we've given too much attention to the other side. Woohoo! Hello, my darling. My wife is watching me via social media. You most probably heard I was talking loads of cuck, and now just coming to figure out what the hell I'm doing. We want an 8:30. Is there an 8:30? Anyone for an 8:30? 8:30? 8:30. 3 more belts to go. Still see the belt? Simon, you happy, buddy? Currently 35 people from all over the world. Fuck all better to do than watch a bloke in Africa grind a knife. Desperately trying not to fuck up. So tell me, what were you supposed to be doing right now? What would you have been doing if well, we weren't in lockdown? Oh, that just scared one guy off. If I say, well, you don't have to ask me questions or comment on what you would have done in your real life, would it bring the guy back? Oh, look, I lost more guys. Okay, I'll shut up now. You'll also notice that I've doubled of love I give every side now. Just I find the A30 is a bit of a harder belt, so it requires a bit more love. It's not the compound consistency of all the others. All the others you can feel it's a nice soft cushiony grind. This specific A30 belt is hard, man. You need to seriously add a bit of give to it for it. Yeah, Simon, I actually need to talk to you about those plastic tanks, buddy. Seriously, I've got a plan. Well, I've got this idea, right? And I'm thinking you hear that quite often. Have you got a mobile construction unit? I think you mentioned something like that. Yeah, I've done that side. Donnie, dude, that sucks, man. That really fucking sucks, man. But now you get to build more of those cool friggin' tools that you make, dude. I still need to order, like, I think you make 2 different handle brooches, yeah? Yeah, I know I make them as well, but yours are fucking solidly cool, man. And I needed, the original plan was to place an order about 2-3 weeks before Blade, and then pick it up from Blade, or just have you ship it to a mate. We actually got 2 mates in Atlanta. But anyway, the one guy, Mark, has already got a couple of parcels of mine that he was holding on to that I shipped to him during the course of the year. We shall now have to wait until next year. Are we done yet? Come on, man. Because I hate this A30. I need to just get myself a new gator. The A30 doesn't grind all that much, yeah, but if I go onto an A16 and this thing is not really cool, I didn't get rid of all the other grind marks, I'm so gonna battle my ass off, because that A16 and even A6, they don't take away material, man, they just fucking polish. I'm spending my time. Hour and 45 minutes is plenty time, buddy. Plenty time. He says, while silently thinking that he might have to change his underwear. Yes, Sam. Did you also have a mad rush at grinding? Dude, I'm already wishing I was at your time in the build already, with a nice all finished blade, and sit back, relax. For me, if I now sit still for fucking 5 minutes, I'll probably fall asleep. Yes, I'm practicing for my old age. So I'm actually pressing quite aggressively on this freaking 830. Okay, I'll slow it down then. It's good advice. That is really good advice. Ooh, that's the sound you don't want to hear. You guys saw why that happened. I was rocking over so much to my leg that I lost my balance, and it started screeching, catting at me. Okay, so that's it for 830. See, that's a life lesson right there. Don't do it fucking properly the first time, you will have to go back and do it again. So this is, what is this? Trizac A45, I don't want an A45. Trizac A6. And then that should be a Trizac A60. That's the A60. So this is the original Trizac, the fiber belts. So it's not a gator though. I wish that was a gator. But I think we're going to take another short break. I just want to feel the state of this belt. Ooh, there's a nice life left. So I like it when it gives you that little muddled look, and then you know it's actually working. But now these things were notorious for fucking hot grinding. I haven't grinded with one of these blades these belts in years, man. I actually came across this belt when we were cleaning up prior to starting the build. Can you tell I'm concentrating, Dad? Yeah, dude. And keep on telling guys, you haven't enjoyed grinding until you've worked on graters. Then everything that you've done before just sucks. And once you've worked on gators kind of spoils you for every single other just plain grit out there. And I've got other manufacturers sending me some weird ass belts as they're trying to find a competitor. Alex, how's it going, buddy? The guys that just don't know, Alex and Sam are two guys that competed from Australia and Tasmania. Oh, Tasmania and Australia, respectively. So Alex from Tasmania and Sam from Australia. And being 6 and 8 hours ahead of us, these two guys are just relaxing. Yeah? So they're done. And if you don't know, Alex, Sam, just type in where the guys can find the Forgecast. They are the two co-hosts for the Forgecast. The podcast is every Friday. Correct me if I'm wrong here, boys. Loam Sane Country. Oh, damn it. Okay. Down under. Is that better? Head south. Yeah. It's the last continent. I think. Now, geography has never been my strong suit, bro. My wife will tell you that I'm completely richting before. So completely lost. When people start talking, how you head north and blah, blah, I just get this glassed over look. Yeah, buddy, I checked that last night. You were smiling, man, because I could see you were sitting there and you had this doubt. Now, which side was I fucking grinding? Now I can't remember. Shit. Well, it's definitely not that. Oh, crap. Now I can't remember which side of this fucking dagger I've already ground or not. So I'm talking cut to guys in a live stream where I should actually be paying attention to what I'm doing. What Sam says. It's a really cool show, man. I enjoy it. I really do. And with the format the guys have gone, I mean, they talk about from music, inspiration guys all over the world that they find inspiring, what they're doing, blah, 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 blah. And not all of them necessarily knife makers. And then there's some weird shit happening in between where they just talk crap quite a lot. And then they had these weird ass guests on, yeah, like Carl Royer. They've had Martin with Jay Nielsen. There's just two, and I don't know how many episodes. It's like 60 episodes now, yeah. So as you can tell, with 60 episodes later, they started last week. Yeah, so it's very unprofessional, especially if they bring in guests from Africa. Man, the quality of the show just goes down the tubes. For those that know, I'm joking. So I just need to say that. You get all sorts on the interwebs. Now, so I'm looking at the stats, yeah. Now, I've been on the Forgecast, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that these guys lost subscribers for having me on there. I'm fucking dead sure they did. We should start the Facebook live troll show where you just troll other guys' live feeds and you just stream that to YouTube, right? And you just end up in that thing and just piss people off. And then stream it straight to YouTube. I think that is something that I could get into. I think I can actually quench this thing as fucking is. Shall we do it then? Shall we quench on an A16? Quench. Shall we etch on an A16? Oh crap, I still have to hand sand the crusher. How much time have I got left, boys and girls? Come on, get a goal to answer. Are there any goals in here? This is my wife. My darling, are you still here? Yeah, but then one of the rules is you need to... Oh, yeah, but see, as soon as you then post the poor bloke's YouTube channel or live chat or wherever you got it, you will get the idiot that now think it is cool to now I can open up on Bob. I can't remember what movie it was now. It makes me think about this guy. Every time his boss pisses him off, he's got this number in the top drawer of his desk. He opens the desk and he phones this number, right? And he just freaks out against this guy. And then I don't know how many years fucking later he retires. He gives this piece of paper to his replacement. He says, whenever you have a bad day, just take it out on this guy. And the next shot, they had a fucking, I don't remember where, but this old guy is then telling his fucking, I don't know, neighbor, friend, whoever, about this fucking idiot that phones him every now and then and just craps on him from a dizzy height. 1 hour, 30 minutes. Thanks, Simon, buddy. That is brilliant. I think I just fucked up. Think and know, think and know, think and know. Did I just double that plunge? Underground, underground. apparently I have to focus down here. You know, those long contacts, that's where you burn. And although you notice that I've got a variable speed, oh well, you didn't notice because I haven't changed the speed, but this thing has been running at 1400 RPM shaft speed on the motor since we switched it on. That's why also, I mean, I learned to grind on a single speed machine. So yes, it can be done. Yeah, you can grind up to an A16 on a single speed machine. We're now going to go down to an A6. But the problem with the A6 is what? Is that it's a 35mm belt, another 25. So there's going to be a lot of. So this is equivalent to, apparently, I wrote down here 3000 grit. I fucking doubt that. You know, this is the nice thing. It seeds immediately in the center, and I'll see if I can get into it. Yeah, I can. I don't have to do nothing. Oh, this one cuts fairly nicely still. Can anyone enlighten me? You see how much I've got around with tracking on a 2-wheel machine versus a 3-wheel thingy. Okay, sorry. Can anyone tell me what the Norton, oh not Norton, the Gator, fucking 3M, sorry man, the 3M A6 equates to the P rating, in other words, grit wise? Oh, nice and shiny. You see the pattern, which is freaking awesome. So I'm going to do left, right, left, right. But she does heat up that blade. No, not thought. If you think you don't know. $1,200. Okay. I don't know why the fuck I wrote 3,000 grit. That was wishful thinking. No wonder I never used that belt. I think I was just scaring myself off. So Fat has got Illumeron belts, also in the industry referred to as a mud belt. So it doesn't look anything like, well, it looks like all the other belts dimensions wise, but it looks like this. It's also referred to as a chocolate belt or a chocolate slab belt. It's just a thick, smooth coating of grit, and you can't tell the difference between a 400 grit or 180 grit and a fucking 1,200 or 1,500, but it goes up to 1,800 grit. But it's the belt that was designed to run wet, so you can literally push water onto that belt. Where Klingspor, for instance, especially the J-flexes, do not like running wet because they leave this fucking black gunk all over your platen or your wheels. That Illumeron belt was made to grind 100% wet, and if you do a wet grind up to 1,500 grit, damn, you don't even need to buff it. It is just absolutely freaking amazing. Oh, I've got coffee. That is the last side on this little adventure. That's been a how many hour grind session now? Come on, who's the official timekeeper? And if he's left, how come he hasn't appointed someone else? They should say on the left or right top corner how long this feed has been going on. Please, someone tell me. So either going to be impressed or going to go completely depressed. It's always that last bit. Oh, I just want to quickly do this. I just want to just quickly touch that up, and that's where you pop it. So I'm swinging back to the original one, yeah, because it's always the plunges that I screw up in. So I just want to double out my plunges. Starkey belt, dude. The Starkeys, I was selling the living crap out of them, and then my supplier can no longer get them. Yeah, it's made in Korea. That's all I know. I actually came across the manufacturer's website, and according to their website they weren't even selling to South Africa. But yeah, our supply of Starkeys ran out, and with the 2 hours 15 minutes, damn it, it's fucking too long. Thanks, Rick. It's appreciated, buddy. No, Alphonse de Meira. I think I'm butchering your surname. Sorry, man. I've got a very good mate in Cape Town, Rick Alphonse. So I just saw your name and immediately assumed. See, this is I think and know. Right, that was it. I'm done with that. So. Now it is hand sand time. Don't worry, I'll take you guys with the riveting exercise of hand sanding. Ah, that's nice. Coffee's finished. Grinder's off. Lead the way, ladies and gentlemen, upside down or not. I haven't set up a camera rig on the stable yet. So, like you, it would help if I bring the belt. So, kan ek vir jou 'n guns vra asseblief? Sal jy vir my skierplaatjie kry? En 'n 400, 600, 800. And what the fuck did I do with the knife? Oh, here we go. In coffee. Asseblief. At this rate, I'll need to go and do a toilet break at some point. Yeah, shall we risk it? Done. Yeah. Whew, you'll notice I did that off camera. For if I fucked up horribly, I could just pretend to go and have to go and fix the tip and not say anything. And yeah, stop. Stal. Dankie. Ek wil net die kasse doen. En dan 400, 600, 800. Sommer die box. En dan my paraffin. Alrighty, so I'm going to set you guys up. I won't be able to see in the comments, so we'll put that into selfie mode in a moment. Yeah, so those, let's get up close. These are my hand sand rigs. We don't sit in hand sand because you can't be as efficient. It's 10mm by 40mm mild steel plate, 10mm thick, 40 wide, base is larger, drilled holes obviously so I can. Yeah, there used to be leather stuck in there, which no longer is there. We're going to take the knife and we're going to clamp it right there. Yeah, don't be an idiot, don't walk into your fucking knife. Yeah, so I don't need the Facebook safety officer, self-appointed. That position's already been filled, and the fucker was fired about 6 months ago. Yeah, because he wise-assed me on safety. This from a guy that does it once a fucking month. You see all my innards lying all over the table while I'm walking around the blade. Remember when we started this thing, I said, Zulu! Wat de fuck maak jy? Maak jy die skielpoppie? Wat hoor jy bly? Woe! Hier is steeds. Wat met jy? Hier! En hier met die gas is spuitwerk. Yes, and it's safe to try hand sand with turpentine. Copious amounts. Nee, bring net vir die bokse, moenie hulle uithaal. Nee, as jy raai die eers dat dit gefok. So vat al daai skietpapier, gooi hulle weg, bring dit vir die bokse. Of sit hom, wat?
Next time.
Nee, gooi hulle by 'n sakkie en dan gee hulle vir die volgende student wat hom wil. So 400, 600. I'm going to start at 600 because that thing has already got a 400 finish. So what I was telling Tulu is I never take my sandpaper out of its box where it came in. Yeah. So I use the piece, and then that piece, whatever's left, I throw it away. Because it'll get environmental dust, and the biggest mistake you can do is take a 400, 600, 800,000, stick them on top of each other. Why the fuck would people do that? You cross-contaminate your sandpaper, and when you get to 1,000, there's a 400 grit particle lying there, and then you fucking scratch your blade again. Like I said, no substitute for common sense. I need a ruler.
It's the ruler.
Excellent. You can see who's been hand sanding for the last 2 days. We go really, really efficient. We go done. Wet the sandpaper, wet the piece. Grab your little blocky, wipe it off on your nice clean clothes. And that's just a faceted little block. Where the hell is it? Faceted block. That actually happens to be 5160. It was just when I made this years and years and years ago. What just happened to be the first piece that I grabbed. It's not heat treated. My aim now is purely to get that little scribe line out in the center. I might have to resort to a 400. Damn. So I can spend more time hand sanding this little stupid Picasso. Okay, so there's my 600. There's my 600. That goes upside down in the box. Can you guys see that? No, you can't. Damn it! So let me flip this around so I can see what you see, and it becomes easier. 32 guys watching the mad dash to the end. Where's the red August blade? Where's the blade? There's the blade. Okay, so that was a 400. So that was 600. This is 400. One sheet. I use RMC wet and dry. I'm not too sure whether I'm in camera. Yeah. Why the hell did I scribe that line so deep? I know there's a lot of guys, a lot of makers that'll wrap their sandpaper around a stick and get 2 or 3 layers of sandpaper. Yeah, you can't get a perfectly flat surface if you've got multiple layers of sandpaper underneath each other, because if you've got 2 layers, you've got double the sandpaper, that's double the give. Yeah? Does it make sense? I hope so. You know what? There's easier ways than this. Crap! The guy that did this is really strong. There's easier ways, there's quicker ways. Let's go do this. Grab 400, 400, 600, 400, 600, 300. Let's go do this. Use electricity and our noggins. We don't have to use manpower. Because manpower, well, sucks, because it's not even a horsepower. Set this up on the disc sander, yeah? Done. That one there is currently running a 120. That'll be sufficient. Might be a bit harsh though. Shall we do a 400? Yeah. That's my knife. So this was just a piece of offcut that was left over from me ripping that piece on there, and this thing has had so many coats of contact adhesive that I haven't put any on. I don't know how many repeats. Come on, god damn it. You want to see a knife? It was just sharpened and quickly screwed up. Right, so it is variable speed. I'm just going to set it really slow. Not that slow. Yeah, that's it. And if you are going to screw up, this is where you're going to screw up. Okay, I need to get to the other side. Now it helps if you have got this thing backed with a bit of rubber. Now if you are doing plunges which meet at a specific point, this technique here will make them so you can grind them in and then do a false ricasso meeting at a specific point. Yeah? You don't want to do that on the 400. Whoa. Still slightly big.
please.
Done. That's 400 done. Machine finish, man. You gotta love. So Sam, if you're ever going to do this sander, yeah, make sure you've got a disc on both ends. So this one I'm using now is perfectly flat. The other one on the other side there, now I can just flip this machine around. This one has got a 1 degree offset. Yeah, so you saw where the tang was lapping. Yeah, so if I use this one, it actually sits off that disc 2 degrees on the other side. So you never have anything touching the other side of the disc. So if you've got a slight warp in the blade that you're trying to grind out, yeah, this side works like an absolute fucking charm because you're not screwing up. Yeah, so keep that in mind. But go to a proper engineer when you do that, when you have that done. And there's a reason proper engineers charge real money. Yeah, and if you can have it done on a CNC, 3D CNC machine, even better, because then that 1 degree offset is actually 1 degree offset. Now keep in mind, if you flat anything on that 1 degree offset, it is actually not flat. That face there is flat, but in a hole it'll grind a hollow, a 1 degree hollow. Yeah, so it's flatter than flat. That makes sense? No, that's just me talking bullshit. Flat is flat, hollow is not flat. But it does help getting rid of those slight little warpages. And especially if you've got tangs, especially if you've done taper tangs, and you've got that taper down to 1 millimeter at the back end of your handle, and you now heat treat and it does a slight little warp on you, and you can't get the fucking thing out because you've got no straight reference. Then that 1 degree works like a fucking charm. And it also helps if you hollow grind the handle pot, yeah, and not drill it full of fucking holes. Want to ask for a time check? Man, I dig this machine. That's 600 done. 800 we're going to do by hand. Yeah. Let's go back to the table. That was quick. Just the way I like it. Now normally I would finish my ricassos prior to heat treat up to an 800 grit. Yeah, so that I don't have that issue when I come off the grinder. And post heat treat or past heat treat, post heat treat, I will go back onto my surface grinder. That would be my first step. Go back into my surface grinder and then just quickly slap that up to 1,000 grit. Just the ricasso up to 1,000 grit, and then I'll go grind my blade. And when I come off the grind for the blade, it's nothing, just done. I'm done. But that's on production blades here. Once off, who cares, man? You can do what you want. Single strip your 800, wet it with the blade, clean your stocky, and go to town in the direction of the tip. So what I want to do is I just want to change the scratch pattern direction. Because it's flat and it goes really fucking quick. And as a rule of thumb, when I'm hand sanding, you get 15 strokes in, you move up, done. Sandpaper is too cheap for you to spend wasting your fucking time working a piece of sandpaper that is dead. Yeah? Now if you really want to, we could give that 1,000 grit, but I doubt if that's required. That is looking fairly cool, man. I might just want to do, what's this, an 800? Down the actual blade itself. Just because I've got time, let me go get my little hollow stick. So I've machine finished up to 1,200 grit. Because I put it down, it goes into the trash. And this little, it is polyurethane, the same that's covering your frickin' hell, your contact wheels. Because I've machine finished up to 1,000, I want to block it down to an 800 and just do a semi-decent. I say semi-decent, really like a half-assed, just quick hand sand. Just to even the scratch pattern out in the direction of the tip. Because the way I do my edge, it doesn't really matter. But because I'm going to be wiping in the direction of the tip, if there are any scratches that I'm inducing, it will actually sit with the scratch pattern, therefore not become obvious. You saw me drag a dustbin closer, so as soon as I'm done, there's no cleanup because I'm tossing everything I am tossing straight into the dustbin. And I'm not sanding with the length of my sanding stick, I'm sanding with that little tip. So it's a really aggressive sand, and I'm not going to try to do a mirror finish pull stroke thing. I just want to change the scratch pattern. Just want to make sure if there is a little scratch that I didn't get with the actual grind, because the edge will actually show that scratch, right? Because it etches, because the scratch is deeper than the surface, that's why it's called a scratch, it's still there. And your edge will not etch around the scratch and magically make it fucking disappear. It'll actually bring it out, it'll pop out, because that scratch is where the iron oxides that are being eaten away on the surface will culminate in there. And if you didn't know, ferrochloride, which is the etchant I'm using, actually becomes stronger if you leave the oxides on the fucking surface. That's why you want to constantly move. I do agitated etches only. I don't do suspended etches. Because an agitated etch is a lot quicker, lots more effective. And you will see my trick. I use 0000 steel wool to wipe, and I work that etch, man. And the etch itself will take, let's call it 10 minutes, and done. And we should have a nice buoyancy on the blade. And we're going to go in, and we're going to do a cold blue solution. Quick cold blue. Outside is so far looking best. Not a single little. He says while he spots a little scratch. Because it can be really small. And moving the slurry around that is formed on the blade, I really did a shit job on this side. Why haven't you actually hand sand? I'll come back in, even out the stroke length a tad. We're going to do the same on the other side. Come on. When you're truly blowing his nose, you might have a bit of a problem there. Silver Margit! Where's Margit? Huh?
Het blaas.
Je blaas.
Ja, ben ik ook een
What? He's blowing the gunk out of the thread on his pommel. Pommel on his pommel. And then I do just a thumb rub. That's it. Put that away. And if I've taken sandpaper out of the box, I always put it upside down back into the box so that I know what's going on. So there's no guesswork. Everyone in my shop knows that's the way it works. You open a box and there's an upside down piece, and you know that it might be cross-contaminated. So if you just want to sand shit, it's good. But if it's mission critical, don't use that sheet. It's as easy as that. Okay, so now we need to go wash stuff. So I need to get rid of the oil on my hands, as well as the oil, because I was sanding with, well, a fuel source that is oil-based. It's not flammable by a naked flame. Well, it is actually. Do I need to disinfect my hands? Let's quickly do that. No. I need to wash my hands. So just ordinary. Take a soap. Sunlight liquid asseblief stoel. Sunlight. And then I use a real high quality dishwashing liquid called Sunlight liquid. So this is just to get the oil off my hands. Sunlight! See, they ran out of fucking dishwashing liquid outside. In the outside basin. And I took mine that's supposed to be here. Sunlight! I think we're proving our own point. Sam, sorry I missed that. What is this? Niemand praat meer as ek nie. Alex, what the fuck are you doing? What, you guys are doing translations into Afrikaans. How fucking bored are you? Okay, so now I've got Sunlight liquid. Yeah. Wys vir hulle hierso. Check daar. So jy self kan sien, dan gaan jy die dagger sien. Yeah, there's Zulus. Is jy nou klaar?
Ja.
He's not done, he says.
Zulu is finishing.
Finish, done. It's amper Chola. It's almost Chola time. Chola time is going home time. Yeah? It's almost. Almost, but I think it's very close to time for coffee.
Ja.
Yeah! It's coffee time. It's always coffee time. Right, so Sunlight liquid on my little sponge. Rub that in. And now, wait, am I massaging my blade? Yeah? Well, my knife. My blade. My knife to be. I want to get the thread as well, because there's always oily residue that ends on the thread, and oil will always sit on top of water, and ferric chloride is obviously water-based solution, yeah? So you don't want to stick your knife through a layer of oil to get into your ferric, or pull it out, and while you're dunking up and down and agitating, you're getting oil mixed in there that'll transfer onto your blade, and then all of a sudden you see a fucking little spot sitting on your blade. You can't figure out what the hell happened. It's because you didn't clean the fucking tang or the thread in the tang. So same as Damascus, preparation is key here. You want to get any and all oily residues off your blade. So much so that if I hold my blade, all the water should run down. Now theoretically from this, where the water droplets are stuck, there's still shit on the blade. But I'm not going to worry about that too much because of the process that I use. Yeah. So we're going to quickly go in. I'm going to grab I need 000 steel wool. I've moved it in my delirium. Oh, here we go. Just dumped my ashtray in my bird drawer. That's going to be fucking fun to clean up. I'm going to have to get the vacuum cleaner from the house. Okay, so I've got 000 steel wool. Yeah. And my blade has still not touched anything. And I'm grabbing. Someone stuffed it in there and made a little fucking tennis ball. The hell? Okay, I want a nice large chunk. Yeah, I use this stuff in my shop as toilet paper. Yeah, well, not really. Yeah, I might change the angle so you guys can actually see what the hell I'm doing. You're not competing with glare. Yeah. So there is my ferrichloride tube. I'm going to be dumping in this one. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So that one is just a stronger solution. This one is 3 units water to 3 liters water to every 1 liter ferrichloride. And I've got it, you can see I'm swirling it. I'm literally doing this in the ferrichloride. And I do that for a couple of seconds. Then I take my steel wool. There is the last one. So steel wool. Take that, dunk it in there. And now I rub my blade down. So I want to clean off the oxides that I've already formed. You don't want to do it dry. Just keep in mind, just because you're out of the acid doesn't mean it's stopped etching, right? So you want to continuously wipe until it's a nice same dull grey color right through. And you go back in, and I'm swirling, 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 swirling. And there's no real time period here. I've never timed it. Play it by ear, by eye, by feel. I want to wipe off the oxide layer that forms. Automatically on the second wipe you can see that the etch is no longer dull. It is now getting a nice grey colour. Back in. You maybe want to wear gloves when you do this. And every time you wipe away, the etch becomes a bit more. There's no dark spots, there's no fucking nothing, there's no running where shit culminated down, then you get these stripes over your blade because you ran it out, and it normally happens in a little hole that you drilled where the acid is etching the inside of the hole, and all of that gunk, the oxides, is now running down the blade, and as it's collecting, it's dragging, it's now got an agitated etch around it, and it etches quicker. You see how nice and black that blade is becoming? And it etches quicker. And that's why you get those little grooves in there. Don't rub your face. Especially with ferrichloride on your hands. So every time I'm doing this, I'm creating the oxides. Well, I'm wiping away the oxide. This should now be obvious. I'm wiping away the oxides. I'm agitating the etch, which is on average about 5 or 6 times faster than a normal etch. That's why I'm not suspending in the acid. You definitely waste a lot of ferrichloride doing it this way. But who cares, man? It's just really cheap. Compared to all the other stuff that you're doing. You might not want to get it on your shoes. I never said I was bright. Someday I'm going to put a chair down here. One day when I'm all grown up. And I can remember shit. I got tired of wiping, so now I'm just letting it twirl. Time check, please. So I think I'm going to play it to the wire on this one. What I was doing there is I was feeling if I can feel the rays or the physical difference between the different layers of steel. Normally you feel that a lot easier on the etch. But as soon as I suspect that I'm feeling an etch or a difference, I'll stop. Why? Because I hate blades that are deep etched. I absolutely despise it. You're etching to bring the color difference out. And I also hate it when guys go back in with sandpaper to highlight shit. If you do it correctly, you don't need to. Even if I'm going to blue it, you're still going to see a large black contrast. You'll see a contrast between the black and the white. And there's no point, as you can see, where I'm standing still with this. Actually happy with that. That should give me just an ever so slight, maybe a bit more, because I do want this blade to show a bit of buoyancy. And the nice thing about a dagger is it's not a blade that's actually going to get used, right? You can etch ever so slightly deeper, but the whole thing is if your client maintains the blade and he takes a really shitty fluffy rag and he wipes the blade, if there are any fluff left on the blade itself, you've missed the mark, you've etched too deep. That is just my 2 cents. Especially if it's in a humid environment. So is this thing going anywhere close to a coastal area, then you definitely don't want to do a relief etch. In other words, a deep etch. You don't want to do it. Because all we need is one little particle to sit on that blade that is going to attract moisture, and that blade is going to fucking rust. Now, we all know the smoother the finish, the less chance of rust starting. Yeah? Done. Okay, so, and you've already started this blade on a negative course, where you've etched it. You've taken that nice smooth finish that you sanded in, and now you've etched it out. Okay, so now, back in here, my little sponge goes up. I am just still being a bit careful working this flip. So I like doing, just heating up my blade after I've done an etch. And what that does, for some other weird reason, it brings the black, it makes the black even blacker. So I'm rinsing with hot water, cold water. Yeah, I'm not wiping, I'm just rinsing. Then I've got 100% pure ammonia, which I'm now spraying on the thread first. Yeah, because I don't want my thread to rust. So this stops the acid perchloride and neutralizes it immediately. You'll see that I don't do bicarb. This is chemist stuff. Yeah? You also see the blade all of a sudden went really black. And I don't want to have to do this again and again and again, so just keep on keeping on. Yeah? And just tiring out. I'll put my blade down without letting it slip. I'll neutralize the acid on my hands because I'm obviously going to be handling that blade. Because I didn't wear gloves at this point. If you were wearing gloves, got it up all over the place. If you were wearing gloves, you would obviously neutralize the gloves before you take them off, and then neutralize your arms and every part of you that was sticking out. After the fact, guys. Get all of that off. And now safely to handle your blade, and you can rinse the blade off. And now essentially I don't want to make this thing get dry. But I've got a kettle that is boiling. So I'm just going to add some water to my little place in here. So untreated Damascus, if you, which that is now, untreated, unoiled, as soon as it dries out, and it doesn't dry out really quickly, metal is porous. Yeah, so you're not going to get all the moisture out. So heating up the steel helps with that. Yeah, and it also helps blacken the steel ever so slightly. It also makes the etch a bit more robust, so it doesn't wipe off as easily. Have you seen if you've just taken your blade out of acid, all right, out of the ferrochloride, you take a little sponge, you wipe it off, and all of a sudden you're wiping off fucking the entire etch. Yeah, so that kind of just settles everything. And if at any point you wipe it and you wipe the etch off, it means it's just that initial oxide layer. It hasn't actually started etching. Yeah. And if you get that your etch, if you've done a deep etch and it goes grey, have a look at your heat treat again. Yeah. What you can also then do is just take that knife with the oxide, so take it out. Don't wipe it, just go dump it in the acid again. Wipe it down, chick 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 with the 00 double stereo steel wool, and then after this point, yeah, you're going to pour hot water on it, and then you're going to let it evaporate while you're drying it off. If required, heat it with a heat gun, which reminds me, I need to go plug it in. Heat it with a heat gun, so you want to get all the moisture out of the pores of the blade. If you don't have a heat gun, preset your oven to your temperature, yeah, and just let sit in there. And just leave it in there for 5-10 minutes. Yeah, you just want that blade to get up to temperature, expel all the moisture out of it. Done! Then as it comes out, you can just coat it in whatever your favorite lubricant is. Yeah? Holy crap, there's like 5,000 comments. Graham, how's it going, buddy? Ernest du Plessis. Ernst du Plessis, sorry. You got over water? Well, I'm waiting for there's a bit of boiling water. Yeah. Time check. How much time have I got left? So I don't know how many minutes ago. There was 42 minutes left. What's the time? 11:23. Bok. What did I say? Did the blade have to be sharpened? Yes, no? I don't think I said. Does the blade have to be sharpened? Alex, 36 minutes. Thanks, buddy. Did you guys sharpen your knives? Sam? Alex? Because I can't disqualify half the competitors. Did you sharpen your... Alex, did you sharpen your knife? Yes. Fuck. Fuck. Is it a proper sharpen or was it just a half-ass sharpen? Don't tell me it was a proper sharpen. I didn't say. Yeah, you can quit. Thank you. Okay, that kettle is sounding promising. This is the beauty about untreated floors in the workshop. Yeah, so we're going to do... There's the kettle. Got my blade. And that's 100 degrees Celsius. The temperature on this was 200. And now you'll notice as soon as I bring it to the camera, almost immediately the water is evaporating off my blade. As it runs down, this thing is drying out. Zip. You see that? Yeah. So you don't get water spots on your fucking Damascus. Yeah, so that was a quick little tip. I can't remember where I saw that, but that was on online. Yeah, some other dude. He was a young guy. Really not a lot of experience, but I saw that and I thought, fuck, that's brilliant. So I tried it and it worked like an absolute charm. So obviously as soon as you find something that works for you in your repertoire, you go and try to replicate it, and if you find it works, it replaces something else that you've done, does something better, you understand the math behind why you're doing it and you're not just blindly doing it, then obviously I'm adding it to my little bag of tricks. Now I am getting in here. Okay, taking the glasses off now, shit is getting serious. My armpie alsjeblieft. Die armpie van die camera. While we got you guys over there, I just wanted to, because I was using Crytex wheels, get some carpet. So I've got a brace of residue from the Crytex wheels. There's now all over my bench, so I've got these industrial carpets. There's a little offcut, so you just put that down. Now that blade can be put down anywhere on my bench without it scratching the bench, and we really care about that. Zulu, die arm van die camera asseblief. Nee, los nie, kom net die arm van die camera. Niks aan die kant. Dankie, 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 dankie. All right, get that rigged on. Now we can donkey. Now I can move you from that one there, donkey, onto this one here. Am I going to screencast? Are we going to do everything in here? I need to go and sharpen the fucking knife still. Yeah. So I am going to just put you guys kinda in like this mode so I can actually see and you can see. Yeah. All right. Just bring the light over there. I can't read comics, I'm looking straight into the actual camera. Can you see what I'm doing here? Facebook is telling me stop rotating my device. Okay, I'm going to have to flip cameras. Hold on. Okay, so I will not be able to see what you guys are seeing, but I want you to see my bench peg. I'm going to ask Zulu to have a look and keep an eye that I actually stay in picture. Jy moet net kyk dat my mes heeltyd hier bly. Okay. Right. So ek gaan daar werk. Although I know for a fact I'm not going to stick to that spot only. Now what I want to do is I want to grab my staalwol, dubbelwol daar in die kas asseblief. So I want to grab a new roll of 0000 steel wool. I want to get my blackening solution out, which is permablue, the paste. Kry net vir my een pakkie. Net een pakkie, enige ene, gryp net vir my een fucking pakkie. That's it. Come on, man! Look at me in steel wool today. Okay, copious amounts. And the first thing I want to do is poke my bench and then rub it down. As ek in, can you see alles wat ek doen?
Ja.
Excellent. Right, and that will just brighten up the entire blade. So I'm getting rid of that top layer of oxides. And you'll notice that I still haven't touched this thing with a rag, right? Well, I did dry it down. Tap it down with a towel, which is the most efficient thing to use for getting rid of water on a surface, on a human body. Blood, same thing. Yeah. So buy your wife new towels for the house. Grab the old ones. Bob's your uncle. Stick that one in there. Is it going to stay there? No, it's not. Now I can move that out. Done. That's there because my skin is just horrific. I want my gloves asseblief. I just want gloves. Now I tear it immediately If you don't do this, you end up with green fingers for the next couple of days. You get comments, people not asking you what you've done, but wanting to know why your fingers are green. I just find using your hands better than trying to use a piece of cloth that is going to absorb the stuff that I want to coat my entire blade. Hey?
As jy dit smeer, ek van jou nie.
So waar smeer daar?
Ja.
Okay, so I'm coating my entire blade. I've still got my hands doing it, not a lappie, not a piece of cloth. Then, ek soek een bietjie groter is asseblief. Een wat bietjie groter is asseblief. Yeah, I'll say. So then I am just waiting for it to actually do its thing. Now I'm gonna wipe off a fair amount, but not everything. Yeah, just want the paste off. I'm putting it into a space where I can actually get to that again. I'm going in with my 0000 steel wool because that also created an oxide layer. And if you're using something like perma blue, for instance, all right, it'll change the color. It'll get all these funky fucking colors until you hit it with steel wool. Then it'll go grey, dunk, like that. Yeah, so that was a single coating, and I've got a black blade. Yeah, so this is perma blue, the paste. Normally this will turn your blade blue. Yeah, unless you do the following. And now I'm just really going to town rubbing this thing. So all I want to do is get that shine back in. Yeah, and I'm also doing a French blue, so I'm wiping away a lot of the bluing, and you'll see the highlights come out again. So all I did was just highlight the already black pieces, and by doing the rub on my plunges, it's now highlighting, because it's rubbing more on the plunges, it's highlighting those, so it's making those already sharp little corners just stand out so much more. Yeah, so there's a fucking masterclass in etching and finishing, etching and bluing in like a half an hour. Yeah, now you can get rid of all the shit in your hands, dump it in your skin, the bench skin that is. Yeah, and you can close that shit up so that no one on the Instawebs actually see how dirty you are. Yeah, you want to get your glasses out of the way, and that's it. Yeah? Happiness. Okay, so now the assembly starts. Q20 alsjeblieft. So those are my blued parts. I should have fucking blued the tang as well. You see how quickly that tang is rusting now? And as soon as you hit it with P20, sorry, I just don't want to waste the stuff on my bench. Okay, so that one is there. I'll hit my parts with it as well. Yeah, so oil, lubrication. Now I need to find my index pin. Where the fuck is it? I've sanded it out. Okay, so this is a blind fit up now. Can I be that lucky? Yes, I can! Fucking brilliant. Volgende. Crossguard. Dankie, moenie hom trek nie, tel hom op. So as Tulu is handing them to me, I'm seeing him. I haven't done indexing pins yet. Okay. So just bear with me here. So that thing's going to swing around. Just want to get it assembled. What was the rules? Did it have to be 100% complete? Did it have to be 100% complete? No, I hope not. Jake, thanks brother, it's appreciated, man. Right, so now you put it flat on your bench. Make sure it stays flat. And the indexing flats are actually indexed. And you lock it up. Nice. Is it a bit off center? Fucking now it is. Okay, we're on your lappie. Alsjeblieft. Are we in picture here? Sorry, can you actually see the blade? There we go. There's the blade. Yeah? There's the blade. Okay, so now you wipe it down. Now you've got a choice. We can leave it as a blackout, exactly as is there, which I think is a bit dull, but it does fit the whole look. But we're going to take it further. So now we're going to start working the patina back. Yeah, so once again, it's 0000 steel wool. New section. You don't want to use anything that you've used before, because you don't want to cross-contaminate. And you start rubbing. Yeah. So now you're taking the patina that you built up, and you're actually rubbing highlights into it. And you can stop when you're happy. Yeah. So you want to do with an aged patina, you want to hit the surfaces that through hard use would have gotten the most use. Yeah, you don't want to do it off the blade, because then you're going to just spread the same fucking shade all over everything. So that would have worked out more than anything else. Is ek nog in camera hier? Kyk my bo. Because that pommel would have gotten some serious hand time, man. Right, and now I just want to do around here, because that entire section we've got more. And then around those, just to highlight them ever so slightly. Right, but I want to do one, maybe die highlight. If I do that highlight, then I have to do those highlights as well. I am actually, how many minutes have we got left here? 39. Okay, I can actually do it. Brilliant. I am gonna. I'm actually gonna force a high contrast by using that guy there. Yeah. So I'm going to taking this entire thing apart. Net aan daai kant somewhere. In a cigarette. In a cigarette, dankie. Nice. I want to get that light on, and I want to get this out of my frickin' way. Yeah, I want that there. Vat net vir my. Yeah, wait. Nice right wheel. So I'm going to take that off. And now I'm just going to force highlights all over this thing. Yeah, so I'm going to start with a highlight on the outside of the pommel. I don't know if you guys can see what I'll be doing here. I took my wood. Let's see. Open up my horrible skin again. Ja, lig met die camera hoor op asseblief, dan nie my kop kap nie. But that's a flat. I don't want a flat. My ashtray in my fucking thing. So I'm just using a Moore's disc, or a separating wheel, guys are also calling it, to shape my rubber wheel. Choose a crevice or depression where I'm going to be sticking it in, because this is a abrasive wheel, and if it's oversized, I'm not going to clean up. Shit. Oh fuck. Alright, gonna go now I'm going to fuck up that patina. My camera weg. Dankie. Kan ek sien? Kan jy sien?
Yep.
Okay. Now this is obviously a bit of a rush job here. Shall we do a double? We can do a double. I can see that wheel isn't 100% shaped to this area, so it's not going to be as bright, and I have to run a second time. So the wheel will self-conform to the shape you're putting it in as it works away, but it's always better to control where you're doing what and not just leave it up to chance. That one's good. Shape that again, make it look narrower. And this is like a mini angle grinder disc for these mandrels that the Crytex wheel is on. Now there's a whole different world of textures that you can get on this. I am now just doing the most basic one. That's just a highlight, it's not even a texture. We're going to do one texture in this time is 17 minutes left. Now the broader one, I'm not going to reshape my wheel, I'm just turning it sideways. Now because it was broad, I'm going to have to run it from 2 directions. I'm not being very efficient here. So if there's any jewelers watching, I ask for your humble forgiveness. Just because I'm married to a jeweler doesn't make me efficient in any of this shit. So many guys will ask me, so why so many different colors? Why so many different layers? In the wise words of Mastersmith J.D. Smith, leave no surface untouched. When your client looks at a piece, he wants to see a different aspect, a different thing. Every now and then when he looks at a piece, he should be able to pick something up that he hasn't seen or spotted before, that he didn't notice. It adds depth to the piece. And there I'm going to fuck up. So I need to just bring that mandrel out ever so slightly. So that my chuck, which is protected but it's also protruding, doesn't hit. There we go. And for the guys that have been following me, I mean, one moment the thing is in parts and pieces and the next moment it is fully finished. I would like to highlight that, but not as a sanded bright. I'm not going to do that now. But what I want to do is I want to create a bit more depth. So this is going to get loud, right? Geef my nog 'n lappie daarbo asseblief. I don't want to rub any patina off. Well, I don't want it to be rubbed off. So I've got my little handy pommel holder. So these are called Blitz cloth, and you get them from pretty much guys that are well stocked in the car. You want to do small circular motions. And that just adds another depth of shine to it, just another highlighted texture. Now obviously I did that beforehand, patina, and then do it again on the sketch. The finials on that would have been fun. The finials on that. Okay, the assembly time. So because I've got grit on everything, we kan ik nog een camera? So we do those little index marks. So I normally punch. Oh, there we go. I did that. Damn it. That really, I should have done that location thing. Yeah, that's good. Pommel will stop on here. Oh crap. I want to re-oil every single aspect of this thing, just to get the abrasive that is left from the Critex wheels. Those little abrasive wheels, just to wash those off. And obviously no knife is ever, and I want to rub some of that gunk into that nice finished piece, because I'm going for an aged look. I'm not a new, bright and shiny, right? I'm going to rub some of that gunk in there, and that's why I didn't seal up the mammoth ivory. There's actually some gunk in there, I can feel it. Things are straight. Now I get to fondle, and because my fingers are pretty much freaking abrasives, I get to play more on the highlights. Yeah. Can you see what the green is go? Okay. So what I do want is that one there, a tad lighter than anything else. Okay, how much time have we got left? We've got 9 minutes remaining. So let's go sharpen this thing. Okay. Oh yes, my iron vast. Gentlemen, we will show you that piece if I don't fuck it up in the sharpening. So there we go, bring my camera alsjeblieft. So there we go. Yeah. It's not looking too shabby for 2 days worth of work. Spruit met daai oop, skit hom net eens uit asseblief. Nee, al alles af, dan skit jy vir my daai lappie uit. So I'm just asking Zulu to just, there we go, put it down, done. That's it, I'm actually not going to sharpen on this table. Open the camera. I am going to go over to this one here. Staan en wys net. So that's 180, I don't want 180. What? 400. 420. See, that was me last night. Dumping. There we go, there's the point. Nice to you 400 that I've been saving for this very, very prestigious. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Fucking crack cracking. Cracking six. Cracking and six. Now sharpening. Full speed. Full speed. Heavier on the left than I am on the right. Yep, that's cool. One can go a bit more. All I want is the edge bevel width to be the same across my entire blade, so all four facets give me the same width. Now we've got a bow on there and I'm good. So this is a stitched in and buffing wheel with no abrasive on it, so no polishing compound. So I'm just using that as a power stroke. And once again, that'll feather in the bluing on the edge. Yeah. So there's almost no bluing on the edge, working it up. So this kind of mimics a guy sharpening his blade over ages, yeah, and it just adds that extra depth in the tone, because one thing I hate is just one fucking black blade, and I can always go and just reapply the bluing to now include the edge as well. we're going for a bit of a used look on this thing. And now I'm just going to lightly feather it in. Nail on the edge. That's good. Will that shave? Yes, it will. So that's good. Not a dodgy shave, but that's fucking good enough. This is not a steak knife, it's a stabby, pointy thing. Alright, so I can get away with that dodgy sharpen. So I would now go on to an oil stone and just hone the edge. But for this exercise, I call it done. Am I in time? Fucking 3 minutes to spare. Yeah? Woohoo! I am one happy chappy, and God, that's an ugly background. Yeah, these cloths are brilliant, but not for photos. Yeah? Give me daai Mikey. Daai stukkie strippie hier so by die lê. Ja. Okay. So that's why those things are there. Yeah? I like freaking that. Ladies and gentlemen, I call it done. Where's my pillow? Right, so I'm going to sit my ass down. I'm going to go over to the broadcasting software on this side, and we're going to go live in both the group as well as on my profile. Yeah, I'll invite as many guys as it can handle at a point in time. I'm going to kick the guys out every now and then. So stay right there. We're going to go live with the title 48-hour dagger build-off complete. Alright, and then pop into that live stream. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to have a well-deserved cup of coffee. Clean off this bench ever so slightly, because this shit is driving me nuts. And then we'll catch you live, right? Thank you for joining in. It's been absolutely fucking madness. If I ever have this idea again, someone just slap me. Yeah? But thank you. I've enjoyed this. I have enjoyed this. Yeah? There's the blade. Thanks, brother. I'm just fucking impressed I managed to pull it off. I would have loved to have those location pins in. But I had a shoulder, a 2mm shoulder there, and a 2mm shoulder there to actually seed those pins. And I no longer have that. Yeah. So I will just re-sandblast all of these fittings, silver solder them together, and then re-patina everything as a whole, because we can't sell anything that can turn on itself. That would just be irresponsible. Yeah. But anyway, guys, let me get off this. Appreciate you guys following along. For the guys that's been part of this build, you guys fucking rock, man. Yeah. It is a moment in time, frozen, where you proved yourself worthy. Yeah, so if we were in Valhalla, not Valhalla, Valhalla is where you end up when you're dead. Right? Valhalla Ironworks. If we were in... No, it is Valhalla. I don't know where the fuck the Thor lives. We were there. You guys would be heroes. Well, you are, in any case. Alright. Thanks, gentlemen. Alright, I'm killing it there. Have fun. Cheers. See you in a bit.